Hi, everyone. Welcome to Empower Our podcast, our FemPower podcast. And I'm Jennifer Seven, and I am so glad you're here today. What I want to talk about is joy. It's really been on my mind lately. I feel like our worlds are so compressed and so intense, and as midlife women, we we have so much on our plates, and our hormones are changing, and our sleep is disrupted, and a lot is going on, and we sometimes lose our joy. Sometimes there's just a switch that seems to just turn off. And when I'm talking about joy, I'm not talking about like pretending to have happiness. And I don't mean pretending that you are fine. I mean the kind of joy that shows up when your body really feels safe, so that you feel like, I can exhale and I can soften and I feel like myself again. And if you've been feeling like your joy switch is off, I want to talk to you and I want to tell you that this is not a personal failure. It's often a capacity signal. We just don't have the capacity for it. And what I want to do today is give you a simple protocol. And if you have listened to my podcast, you know I'm all about simple. I'm all about one step at a time, one tiny step at a time, and to run it for just 7 days. So, one little minimum habit that we could do, one little tiny joy repetition, I call them joy reps, and that's it. We don't want to continue to overload ourselves and overload our capacity. So, when I talk about that joy switch being off, I mean, you just feel flat. Women tell me, I don't feel like me. I feel numb. I feel like my joy is gone. And the truth is, we want to look at joy as not just an emotion, but our joy can also be information for our bodies. And when our nervous system is under load and stress, joy seems to get deprioritized. Your body shifts into almost more of the survival mode. How do I get through the day? How do I just solve my problems and exist and get things done that I need to get done? We're not focusing on play or ease or delight. It feels like those things just disappeared. Who has time for that? And I don't like to start with motivation. I like to start with capacity. And capacity is the room that you have inside your body and your mind, room to breathe, room to respond instead of react, room to digest your food well, room to sleep, room to feel. And midlife, oh my goodness, can it just shrink the room? It shrinks it, and we feel like, oh, claustrophobic almost. Life might look fine from the outside, but what's happening on the inside? Just to name a few that women have shared with me, some of the most common joy thieves in midlife, and I'm sure you're going to recognize and identify with these, but sleep. Sleep has really been my big problem, but it's starting to get sorted out. But if your sleep is disruptive, I always feel like sleep has to be our foundation. If your sleep is disrupted, you can absolutely love your life and still feel flat because you are exhausted. You're either waking up at night, you can't fall asleep, or you just wake up feeling exhausted, even if you feel like you slept. Stress overload. And please tell me if you don't have any stress in your life, because I will be like, whoa, I want to know you. We all have so much stress. And I'm not talking dramatic stress, although there seems to be a lot of that lately. I'm talking about constant daily stress, the daily stressors. If you work, if you have kids, if you have parents you're taking care of, there is a lot of daily stress. There's just stuff that has to get done. And then there's blood sugar swings. We can crash if we're not eating right. We can have cravings. We can get irritable. We might be hungry. We might have this wired, tired feeling. Our hormones are wreaking havoc on us, and that's not our fault. It's something that's happening to us, and we don't even often recognize or realize it. But as we go into midlife, things are erratic. They're not that nice, steady balance. Things can go up, things can go down, things can go up, things can go down, and at the wrong times. So, mood regulation is changing. Our sleep depth changes. Our stress tolerance changes. And then there's relationships. Oh my goodness, ongoing tension in the relationship. It keeps us very tense in that survival mode. Of course, that's going to cause our cortisol, our stress hormone, to go up. So that's not helpful either. But none of these, I want to say to you ladies, none of these things mean that you are failing. It just means your system's working really hard. So, what do we do? What can we do? Let's try this. Let's stop chasing joy with big things and let's just build some conditions where joy can return. So I want to make this personal for you. As I mentioned, I have had a season where I could not sleep well and I was completely exhausted during the day. I was offered sleep medication that made me foggy and I still didn't feel like I slept well. It was like a drugged sleep. And I said to myself, well, why can't I do better? Why can't I be stronger? Why can't I sleep? I was angry with myself, mad at my body. If I were stronger, if I could force myself to sleep, I would be fine. If I had more willpower, I would be fine. If I can fix this, I'll be fine. But it wasn't, and it isn't about willpower. It was about capacity. And so I've been working on my own joy. My world was feeling super flat and just like, yeah, blah, just blah. And I started to really explore joy. And sometimes when joy returns, it's just little tiny sparks. Maybe it's just quiet coffee. I am a huge nature lover and I've realized I get my joy and my peace from nature. So, looking and enjoying the beauty of a sunrise or a sunset. I love to walk with my dog, Holly. It's one of my favorite things to do. We have beautiful trails where I live, and I look at nature. I look at the trees. I look for animals. I look for the bunnies. I look for the birds. I look for the squirrels. If I'm lucky, I'll get to see the deer. And I don't know, there's something about it. I'm really looking and I see people on the trails. They're not looking, they're on their phones. They are beelining to get their steps in. I walk to this little pond. I look for the fish. I look for the turtles. And it just brings me joy. And it's so simple. So just a moment of being present. And my dog is into it too. So we have, I'm like, Holly, squirrel, and we're both like, oh, squirrel or bunny. And oh, she hears me right now. She's running in here. Sorry, Holly, there's no bunny in here. Um, it's not about fireworks or big, huge, dramatic things to give you joy. Be present. There's joy in the little tiny things. So if you're in this flat season, that's a great path to go on. Just small sparks, and then you repeat them, and you're teaching your body to recognize them again. So I call it my joy switch protocol, and I want you to try it for 7 days. So it's simple, it's practical, and it's repeatable. The first thing I want you to do, step one, is to think about what your biggest joy thief is this week. Just pick one. Remember, pick one. Is it sleep? Is it stress? Is it cravings? Is it conflict? Is it overwhelm? Is it loneliness? Get your journal out and just write down all of the things that are bothering you or stealing your joy, and then go back and circle the one that just today is the worst. So you're naming it. When you write it down, you're naming it, and you can stop blaming yourself. And then we're going to do one little minimum for 7 days. Just one. Remember, one. Pick the one, and I'm going to give you ideas next. One little joy item that can that you can do even on a hard day, even when your capacity is low. So, a few things that can help with the things that are stealing your joy. The first one is just getting protein in twice a day. That's going to help your blood sugar regulate it. It's going to help a little bit with that stress. And again, I only want you to pick one of these. So, protein twice a day, that's one. A 10-minute walk is one. Lights out earlier than usual is one. It's not about perfection, it's about creating stability. But what I'd like you to do, instead of just picking one that I've written, I want you to journal, write down some of the things that you can do, these little joy things that can help you. And really just write. What are the things that make me happy? And little things that make me happy. And this is going to lead us into our 2-minute joy repetition daily. And I want you to keep this little tiny, we're doing micro steps here, 2 minutes every day. How many days? 7 days. And this is the nervous system signal. We're starting to train and rebuild our nervous system. And I want your joy rep to be so small, so tiny that you cannot talk yourself out of it. You've got to make it easy, super, super easy. So here's just a few ideas. But again, I want you to journal your own, okay? Promise me you'll do that. One could be just standing in the morning light at the window. And what I found myself doing lately is when I get my cup of coffee and I have to take my dog out into the backyard, I just stand outside and I just observe. And again, it's observing nature, it's getting that morning light. Just, it's so peaceful. There's no one out there. And it just, I'm like, this is nice. One simple technique, just put your hands on your chest and take 5 slow breaths. That's a simple tool, really, really simple, that can help regulate your nervous system. Sit with your coffee for 2 minutes without your phone. You could journal a little bit, journal your gratitudes. Step outside and feel the air, just feeling the air. Perhaps music is your thing. Find a song that just lightens you, a song that's a favorite song that makes you feel good. Get that, put it on a playlist. Play your song for 2 minutes and just listen to it. Relax and listen to it while you're drinking your coffee. Pet your dog. You know, something about petting an animal, that soft fur, and they give you their energy back and they love you unconditionally. So that's a wonderful way to just, get some love. And it calms you down, calms your nervous system down. Why do you think animals are support animals? Look at the sky and name a color. Maybe it's the most beautiful blue you've ever seen. Maybe there's beautiful white clouds. Maybe there's some pinks, who knows? Pick a color. So pick one, just one of your own from your own list of journaling. Maybe it's being near water. Uh, Pick one joy rep for the whole week, the 7 days. Do not rotate. Just pick one. Remember, repetition builds safety. We're trying to build safety for our bodies. But what I want you to understand is if your joy switch has been off for quite a while, you're not necessarily going to feel instant happiness. And that's okay. That's normal. What we're doing is we're trying to rebuild our capacity. So you might feel neutral at first, but you might start feeling a little less braced, a little less sharp, a little less overwhelmed and flooded. And that counts. Calm, just calm is the doorway that you're stepping into. And now I want you to track one tiny sign that you're returning to yourself, to your joy each day. So we've identified what's bothering us. We've picked one that we're going to work on. We've identified some things that can help that. And we're picking our joy rep for the week. And then we're going to track it so that we can, again, we're reinforcing to ourselves that this is something that's helping. So some things that you could track. Well, gosh, I didn't feel as snappy today. I didn't bite people's heads off quite as much. Maybe I didn't crash as much in the afternoon with my exhaustion and slump. Maybe I actually laughed at something today. Maybe I felt steady and calm in my chest and I didn't have that racing heart and anxiety. Maybe I actually slept a little bit longer or my sleep was a little bit better. Maybe I just enjoyed my coffee because I was fully present with it. Those are all nervous system wins. And that's what we're really working on, ladies. We're working on our nervous system. Joy is going to follow these wins. So that's your simple daily check in. I want to use it. I want you to use it for 7 days. So here's what you're going to, I'm just going to reinforce this for you one more time. My joy thief for today was, and write it down. My one minimum today was, and write it down. My 2 minute joy rep was, write it down. And my small sign of return was. And remember, the small signs of returning might just be little sparks, little sparks. Gosh, I feel a little lighter today. I felt a little happy today. I danced a little bit to the music that I was listening to. One short sentence for each is just fine. Keep this simple. I don't want to add one more thing to your overwhelm, one more thing to your nervous system. So we're really doing, remember, micro steps. And what you're building is evidence for yourself, for your body. So if this episode hits home, I want you to take the next step. Choose your minimum, choose your 2 minute joy rep, come on over into my Menopause Map on School. I'll drop the link in the description. And know that you don't have to carry this alone. In the Menopause Map, we're building calm first and joy next. And I so look forward to talking to all of you soon. And I will see you next week. But come on over to my school.